as you're growing up there, you're getting into the music scene, primarily hip hop scene as well.
Definitely.
Working with your groups. How did that come to be? Like, what was the kickstart of all that?
Sure. Good question. Well, essentially, you know, we would go to parties and you know, and start kicking little bullshit freestyles and things, and you know, aided by a few drinks and whatever else was going around at the time. And, you know, and your audience grows from, you know, a couple of your boys in the back of a car to, you know, 10 or 15 people at a barbecue. And next thing you know, your uncle, who's a percussionist with one of the bands, he's like, hey, man, you should jump up on stage at the bar next time I'm performing. So you jump up at the bar, and then, you know, you do that often enough where, you know, you become noticed by more people that probably go to a certain club. At that time, it was called BJ's. It was probably the most common, well, the most famous Latin American club in Sydney. And, you know, you get asked to jump on stage a lot more, and then it becomes more of a job thing, a paid thing. For me, it was literally both worlds were happening at the same time. So I would jump up on stage with people on the hip-hop side, even as a percussionist, because I do have a bit of percussion in my background as well. And then I would start rapping in English at open mic battles, step forward down a good bar in Oxford Street in the city. And then at the same time, on that weekend, I'll be in the Latin club, salsa rapping with, you know, like the Sydney Latin All-Stars, or Elvis Crespo was in town, or Oscar de Leon. You know, all these big concerts will come from the big artists will come to Sydney, and they would call me as the, you know, the Latino MC that would get up with the growing Latin hip-hop sound that was emerging at the time. So, you know, and probably one more is then you get the phone call by, you know, the biggest DJ crew in Australia, Club Joint All Stars, DJ Moto, Peter Guns, Tickles, Demo. You know, you get the phone call and it's like, you know, we're about to open this club and it's Club Joint All Stars. You know, do you want to come? And I'm like, what? How much? And they literally they were paying me like 4 or 5 times what I thought that I would get paid.
Now, was this your kind of full-time job at this point in time?
Yeah. So I literally, for years and years, I haven't had a full-time job since 2001. So yeah.
When did this click where, you know, I don't want to say a hobby, but it's like, you know, maybe this could be a career. Sure. Can you recall that time when you're like, you know, I think I got something here?
Most definitely. Yes. So basically it became a numbers game. You know, when I saw that the paychecks were, you know, X and Y, I was like, well, I don't need to work anymore, you know, because I'm covered. My rent is covered. You know, I was involved with some other dumb shit as a kid, which you know, I could say was making me an earn as well. But it reached a point where, I was like, man, I don't need to work anymore. So then I became, you know, like full-time weekend warrior, you know, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sundays. And essentially, you know, in many ways, still until this day.
If you enjoyed this content, we're doing 5 clips like this a week. If you want to watch the full podcast, click here.